Now that Lotus Season 3 is officially over as of yesterday, when this video comes out, I wanted to go and talk about my thoughts of the season and kind of just wrap up everything and do a little overview of everything that's been done. Now this is going to be a lot calmer and less edited than my normal Lotus videos, but I wanted to go around and kind of show some things that necessarily haven't been shown and talk about some things because this season was probably one of the roughest yet. I guess I also probably should say this video should be chaptered, so if you want to skip around to me talking about some builds that have been done and showing off some things that haven't really been seen in the videos that are important to my season, like, I'll be doing a little tour and then I'll be talking about like the people leaving, everything like that, just going through everything and kind of my thoughts with it. So I guess the big one is the Milk Zone, obviously, and I do really love how it turned out, and I think that this is honestly probably one of my favorite things that I've done. There are like some things like that bison, like the bison armor stand. I was gonna go and have bison milk at some point, just as a little nod since he dropped out of the season. I love all the details. I love how the smoke turned out on the top. I love all of the use of this stuff. Fun fact, I actually started designing this before any of the pale stuff was out in the game. The designing took so long that it ended up being added, and I'm glad that I waited because this stuff really added so much to it. But I love that the house part of it is just like, you go in and it's completely different from everything else. And I didn't really get to show it off, but like I went around afterwards and decorated it all with like, these are all my trophies that carry over to the next season. I put all the sheep milk or all the Milk Zone stuff in order of release. Some of this stuff like only got shown for a little bit, like the holiday milk didn't get shown at all. The mare milk, obviously, that was the whole thing of me taking Sniffington. Then Margaret milk didn't really get shown a whole lot. And same with fish milk, that was for the fishing event. Also got the, there was a little scavenger hunt, I won that. And then another thing that I realized didn't get shown at all is me and Squid went and like grinded for a few hours and got the rare blue axolotl on a stream, and that never made it into any of my videos, but like I have them all here just chilling out. I have a bunch of the plushies from Guess Who and stuff like that, and if I go up here, I actually went and placed down every single plushie that I got, and so like if you guys get the world download and get the pack on, you'll be able to walk around and kind of look at all this stuff in better detail. Squid also left a little note up there. And then also this is where I'm going to be keeping my stuff. It's like the server's technically done, but me and Chesty have something else that we need to work on for a big event. And then like other things, like I didn't get to show me doing the egg hunt at all in there, but like that, I also did Jack Black. I'm the one who built that, and that didn't make it in my video because I couldn't find a way to put that in my episode, because that would have been in my my episode 3, the final. I'm also a big fan of the actual like Milk Zone shop here. I especially love the little bell right there when you walk in. Another little detail is like this. I don't know if I showed this off in my video, but like when you press that actually turns off, and then you can do that to turn it back on. Like, I really like that. And then like the entire fishing event I had to cut out, but like this was incredible. This was a lot of fun. We had a bunch of people get on the server who aren't Lotus members, so people like from we had some people from Whimsycraft, we had some people from Channel 64. It was a lot of fun. It was so much fun. Big old collab like that. That was cool. Me and Chesty built Willie's fishing hut. This is Willie's fishing hut from Stardew, and if we go in here, then we have Live Awesome as Willie. But like this was a whole thing that I just didn't really get to show, and it's kind of sad that I didn't get to show it. There's like a lot, and I'll go into it a little bit later on why I wasn't able to, but like another thing is popped up around the end of the fishing event was the Casino. This is me and Chesty's build as one of Sniffington's promises was to give the mushrooms land and have there be a casino. So we got like a bunch of designs from somebody, I'm trying to remember their name. I'll link them down below, but like they designed the slot machine and the Tower of Luck and the roulette and blackjack, and then I designed the 10 diamond double or nothing, and then I think Chesty did stat poker. I don't know if we got a design from somebody else. And then that's also a design, but like we had this whole Calcino that didn't make it in, and then like Tether Cart also popped up at the end, and then I don't know how much of this I can show, really. I'll show like this little bit right here. There's this huge project that me and Chespy are working on currently, we need to finish up. Big ol' thanks to Pug, Maddie, and Draconis for supplying materials and helping build, because like we wouldn't have been able to do this without them. Then like I helped design Bridge Sniffmore over here. There's all of this stuff. Like, I love our shopping district this season. If we actually go over here, I think. I don't know if this is all updated. No, it's not. Like, I love our shopping district this season. I think that this is probably the best one that we've had. And I love how the Milk Zone looks on it, too. I think the Milk Zone looks really cool with it. Like, the court was really insane. I have thoughts about that I'm definitely gonna get into in a bit. But I think the one thing that I should start with, now that I feel like, well, I mean, I'll go show off my bunker too, because that was kind of in the end cinematic, the end credits. Also the Nether Hub, I don't remember how much of this is actually shown in my episodes, but like, this is an incredible Nether Hub. I believe Pug, Maddie, Draconis, I know Chespy designed it, and then the other three built it. There might have been more help, I don't remember. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting someone. But if we go down here, this is also shown the giant me by my portal, which goes over to my original land that I ended up having to pivot. But this is my bunker. This is where I did a lot of my work, and this is actually how I got the sheep milk, because you know, fun fact, can't actually milk a sheep in this. But like, I didn't want to do like villager trading for it, and I realized that guy apparently broke my thing. Doesn't really matter, but I got like a bunch of carrots. I had like these farms running for so long. I had a gold farm in the nether that like was just pumping out so much. And so like I had a lot of golden carrots. This is really where I just had like all of my farms and stuff. And it was just supposed to be like a temporary little thing. This really is kind of my base. Because even though like my house is in the shopping district, this is where like my storage is. You know, one season where I'm not organized, of course. And then down here also, yeah, not organized at all. But like the original plan, and you can kind of see it on the clipboard. If I toss it down, you can actually see some of what my original plan was. But my entire plan was to do a city based on Seattle. So you could see like the Space Needle, something like the Great Wheel, a train, because I know Mafert wanted to do that, and then that never got done. There are like little Easter eggs on there too, a giant Stella. There's the sticky note of watch out from squid. But like, there was going to be a huge mountain here, and I can actually show it in a bit, because I actually do have that world. In fact, I'll actually just put the little snippet on screen now of what that would have looked like. But there would have been a huge mountain right there that I had designed, and then around over here there'd be the Space Needle, which I also had designed, and I'm sure I'll use at some point. But I ended up leaving for a bit of the season, and I thought I was going to be gone for the rest of the season. But I ended up coming back, and I'm glad that I did, because I had a lot of fun with what I did end up getting to do, even if like all of my ideas didn't really go to plan. And I was really demotivated. I kind of bring it up as like a joke in some of my videos, but like Yogi dropped this season. Bison then was going to be my business partner with the Milk Zone, and then he dropped the season. Then Squid was going to be my marketing manager for the Milk Zone, and then she dropped the season. And but you know, by that point I was already gone, and I was already out by the time that Squid left. But like, I was really demotivated, because this all started with me and Yogi. And so when he ended up dropping, it was like, you know, that was a big hit to the plans and stuff, especially because we had it all built up to what we wanted to do. Even in episode 1, we mentioned that we wanted to take the mare and milk it and stuff like that. And so, like, you know, that's part of the reason why I ended up taking Sniffington. It's because I wanted to complete that storyline, even if he wasn't going to be here. And, you know, obviously there are no issues with Yogi and stuff. Like, we're all friends and stuff, and me and him will still hang out to this day. It was just a huge hit seeing everybody drop the season, and, you know, that is, you know, when people are leaving, it's hard to stay motivated, and I know Chespy has thoughts on it too. I won't, like, speak for him. I don't know if he's gonna make a video like this at all, but just, like, I don't know, seeing a lot of people drop it was really demotivating. But I'm glad that I came back, because I feel like This was the roughest season that we've had in terms of player count dropping and uncertainty of the future of Lotus. But I think that this season had the strongest end to a season that there's been because of the fishing event, the court stuff, the games that popped up, and it was really good. Like, I think I had a lot of fun with the ending of this season, and there was a lot of rushing around with it. Like, the fishing event took place, I think, a week before the last week of the server, and then around that time I couldn't participate too much because me and Chesby had the thing down below that we were working on, that we needed to work on. Well, we needed to work on the thing down below. Thankfully, Pug and Maddie and them were able to help build. And then, like, the Calcino I had to start while Chesby was doing Tether Cart because we needed all of these things to pop up. And then we also needed the court case with Morg to happen. Meanwhile, I still needed to go and make the models for the milk zone and stuff like that, and keep that up. And then, like, I had my whole thing going on where I was trying to, like, keep things secret, because in the court case, when I do my giant reveal of me taking Sniffington, nobody else knew. Dan was the only other person who knew, but he actually didn't show up to that. But, like, Chesby didn't know. Morg didn't know that I was double-crossing him, of course. And so, like, getting everybody's reactions of that was so good, and I'm so happy that I was able to get that, and that the season ended the way that it did, with me and Morg walking off. But that wasn't the original plan. My original plan for the ending of Lotus is I was actually going to have 4 episodes this season and not just 3, and it was going to have the court, and then have Morg go to jail of some sort, and then something was going to crumble. Like, it was going to seem like I got away with it, and it was going to be built up to where, kind of like how it is in the video now, where it's like, I don't think when watching you will know that it was me who took Sniffington until the end. And so, like, it was going to be built up like that, but I didn't get to do that because of the fact that it was just like, that was kind of the risk of not telling anybody else my plan, is that I just kind of had to hope that everything would fall into place. And for the most part, like I think I did a good job of kind of like gaslighting and pushing people in the right direction without like really convicting myself. And then in the court case, you know, everything was kind of spiraling out of control because like the evidence was all leading to like, yeah, Morg's the one who took it, but it wasn't organized in a good way where nobody knew what they were doing. Nobody knew what they're doing, and like we shouldn't know what we're doing. We're making content on Minecraft. Nobody should know the court stuff, and the evidence wasn't getting pointed out like in a good, effective way. And we had a biased jury, and there was a lot wrong with that court case, and it was one of the most chaotic things that I had to cut a lot of it out. I still think it flows decently well. Like, you know, I'm glad I was able to jump in and kind of go and just do my reveal here and be like, I'm the one who took him, and Morg's guilty 100%. He was there, he agreed with it, and then do the flashbacks like that. I still think I'm glad that I was able to have that reveal without it being ruined. But everyone's reactions were incredible, and I'm glad that I was able to do that. But this kind of leads to my next kind of thought on like what I wanted to happen with the Milk Zone. Is that I wanted there to be protests, and I wanted people to be against the idea of the Milk Zone from the beginning, which is why like there are things like oil spills and the ground dying, and like I wanted this to seem like just a bad business, because that's what it is. Like the fact that I kidnapped a mayor and did all that, like there was a lot of just like bad things that the Milk Zone has done. And I was just waiting for somebody, like I was pushing the line, just waiting for somebody to go and be like, nah, I'm gonna protest the Milk Zone, or I'm gonna sue the Milk Zone, or I'm gonna do whatever with the Milk Zone. But like, in terms of like Milk Zone stuff, like this is the last time that like there's gonna be something like this. But I've always like, I've wanted to, for so long, have a season where I am just playing the role of basically a villain, and that is essentially what this was. It's like I made deals with the intention to go and backstab people and stuff like that, and yeah, I think it turned out entertaining in the video, which is the point. And obviously, you know, there's no hard feelings with anybody because we all understand it's for content. And so it's like even afterwards, the part that you didn't see is after me and Morg run off, we actually went to go play Tether Cart while everybody was still in the courtroom, and then they rushed out realizing that we weren't coming back. And then we were all around there, and like a bunch of us were gathered up, and I was like kind of talking about my reveal, more of like, yeah, I know, I have like clips of my meeting with Dan and stuff like that, and it was just like us genuinely kind of talking about all that, and it was really funny to go through that in more depth. And then after that, it's like, once again, we're busy, and so like after that was done, me and Chesapeake went and got right back to work on Calcino, getting that done in that day. This season has been all over. It's been like we've dropped members, and that demotivated me, and then I came back and then went and built up the Milk Zone more and focused on that because I already had that built up from episode 1, and continued the plans of kidnapping the mayor, bringing out the new flavors. Yeah, like I worked hard to keep this going, and like I have plans for next season already. Give you a little hint, me and Chesapeake are going to be working together next season a lot, so that is going to be really fun. But next season, like, I'm not going to be playing a role like how the Milk Zone Seaman was, Construction Seaman was. This Milk Zone sort of evil plot is done. Like, I'm done with that. As funny as it was with the reveal, it took a lot of building up, and it wasn't fun after a while. And then like when the court stuff happened, like halfway through court, I was just like, it just stopped being fun. Which is why I went and did the reveal then, instead of waiting and stuff. And like, you know, I want to make sure that like stuff is entertaining, and I want to make sure that things are fun for both me and, you know, the people who are watching. And so like that is always going to be my priority. And yeah, it just like got a little too real, which, you know, we've experienced before in season 1, where things got a little too heated. And, you know, once again, obviously things are good now. Like, there are no hard feelings with anybody on the server. There will never be hard feelings between stuff like this, because of the fact that, like, we are good at communicating what's going on. And I think that that's like the important thing, is that like, even though I couldn't talk about what I was doing, I still made it clear very vaguely that I was like, you know, yeah, no, I'm planning on like storing up some issues and stuff like that, but it should be all good. And like I would drop hints that like I'm about to do something, I just didn't say what. And like the gap between me saying that and then me actually doing it was a while, so there was still no connection there. Like I did think of a lot when I was doing this. I do think it's one of the best and worst seasons that there's been. Worst because of the dipping, and best because of the way that it ended with everything and the stuff that got done. Because, like, look at that. That is so good. And then same with the hologram of the sheep milk and stuff like that. Like, this turned out to be so much fun and so good. And I, like, am just filled with hope for the future of Lotus. And so, like, you know, season 4 is already confirmed. There's going to be more information about it in the coming weeks and days and stuff. So go follow the Lotus account on Blue Sky, on Instagram, the Lotus YouTube channel. Like, all of that stuff is going to be linked in the description. Go check all that stuff out. I might even post some stuff on my community post, so be sure to check for that too, as well as my Blue Sky. All of my links are down below in my link tree, so go check that out. Maybe join the Lotus community. But yeah, like I just, you know, the purpose of this video is literally just to kind of get my thoughts and ramble about what I think, kind of where I stand with season 3, I guess. Like, this is just to organize my thoughts on season 3, because as you can tell, it's been all over. And like, I'm in a spot where I was unsure of the future of Lotus, and now I am sure that it's gonna be really good. If you guys have liked this sort of more genuine version of me, I guess, me kind of just talking about everything that's been going on here and things like that, I highly encourage that you go and check out my my new channel. It's called Seaman's Thoughts, and it is going to have a video posted like already by the time that this is out. So if you're watching this now, there's another video out talking about why I wanted to make that channel. But yeah, I just wanted a place where I can kind of go in and talk and share my thoughts and things, so go check that out. There's gonna be a lot more kind of just genuine videos like this, but I just figured that I'd post this one on here to go and share my thoughts with Lotus, because this is more directed to this channel and that one is gonna be more general. But yeah, so go check that out if you feel like it, and if that's something that interests you, if you enjoyed this sort of nice just talking calmly. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. And so, yeah, hopefully I will see you guys on over there. But until then, I guess I will see you later. Goodbye!